thanks to all the new credit laws and the emergency COVID early release, domestic violence is not considered a violent felony, neither is stalking.
A woman says her ex-husband is in prison after abusing her and her children for years. But she says he continues to harass and stalk her even from behind bars. And he's up for parole in a few months thanks to an emergency policy the prison system has in place right now. As we've been reporting, that good behavior credit policy could become permanent. The domestic violence survivor you just heard from and Fresno County's district attorney both told Fox 26 reporter Marie Edinger the system is choosing convicts over victims.
The woman I talked with says her ex-husband tried to kill her before many times. She's worried that if he's let out of jail early, he'll succeed. Charles and DORIE SUATHOJAME got together 12 years ago. They fell in love quickly. He was so nice until he wasn't.
After we got married, things turned really quickly.
She put up with physical, psychological, and emotional abuse for years. The last straw was in November of 2018. DORIE came home from work and saw her 12-year-old daughter like this.
I called the police and he was arrested. He was brought home the next day by the police.
In the day he was gone, she filed for divorce, and
when he found out about that, he was not thrilled. So things got worse. And for the next almost 2 years, I went through absolute hell. Wasn't allowed to leave the house without him, especially during hours that I could go to a courthouse and finish paperwork or get help of some sort. I was barely let out just to work, and after that it was stay home, stay with him 24/7.
SUATHOJAME was arrested again in May of 2020 for being a felon in possession of this sawed-off shotgun, and again 2 weeks later for a sex offense. Neither crime keeps people behind bars in California, a topic Fresno County's district attorney has been heated about.
If this were 5 years ago or 10 years ago, we would have better answers. But the way that the criminal justice system has been annihilated by these people up in Sacramento, we are really hamstrung. And so that's why I say, the burden is now on the victim to keep themselves safe.
The proof?
He showed up at my house in August with a loaded pistol and a really bad attitude. His intention that day was to kill me. And thankfully there was an officer here from a different call, totally unrelated to mine, that happened to hear my kids screaming.
SUATHOJAME finally went to prison last March, but he took a plea deal to serve about a fifth of the time he was originally facing. This August, after serving less than a year and a half, he'll be up for parole.
We used to be able to confidently look at our victims and say, you're protected. He'll be in prison. He won't be able to contact you. He'll be on parole. He'll be supervised when he gets out after he does all of his time. And now we can't say those things anymore because they're taking all the tools out of our toolbox and they don't value victims.
In California, domestic violence is considered a non-violent crime. And good behavior credits let those non-violent people convicted of beating their spouses and children get out early.
They don't value victims. They only value emptying the prisons. And until the laws change, people like this poor lady are going to have to just keep moving and keep the burden on themselves to keep themselves safe.
Meanwhile, SUATHOJAME has been repeatedly violating his restraining order from inside prison, stalking and harassing his wife.
I have a call from Charles SUATHOJAME, an inmate at...
When they first started, I called and spoke to the sergeant that was in charge that night, and his answer to me was they, by law, have to get a certain amount of time on the phone, and there's nothing we can do about that, so you just have to live with it. Change your number again, he said. And to be honest with you, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of changing my number. I'm tired of uprooting my life. I'm tired of having to change everything that I do because somebody can't follow the laws.
DORIE says if her ex-husband is let out early, she will never be safe. Even if he serves out his 8-year sentence, she doesn't think he'd be rehabilitated in that time.
I just don't know when there's going to be real repercussions for any of it, because it doesn't seem like there ever will be.
What made you decide to speak out?
I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling like there's nothing and there's no hope and there's no help. The laws don't work for us.
DORIE says if any of you would like to reach out to her to share your story, to hear more of hers, you can certainly do so. I'll put my email address up on our website, and then I'll put you in connection with her. In Tulare, Marie Edinger, Fox 26 News.
Oh, bravery. The California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation was taking public comment on whether to make its expansion on good behavior credits permanent. That public comment period ended today. By the way, SUATHOJAME was given his plea deal despite having charges in Colorado for assault, trespassing, burglary, vehicle theft, and being a registered sex offender. Go to our website, KMPH.com, for resources and help if you or someone you know are in a domestic violence situation.